Well, hello everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Mostly.
We back, baby.
We back.
Sorry about the hiatus. We went on trips and did some stuff, and yeah, life happened.
Life happens, unfortunately.
So yeah, sorry we've been gone, but we back for at least a little bit.
We are back.
Probably till the holidays. So yeah, hopefully everyone's having a good holiday season so far. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I don't think there's any other housekeeping other than we back. So
don't forget to subscribe on everything and anything possible.
Yeah, that was my next thing is go to all your web zones, your
media zones.
Your media zones, wherever you get your fine podcasts, wherever you get your Joe Rogans and your crime junkies and all that stuff.
Wherever you consume.
Just look a little podcast up, Mostly Come Out at Night podcast. If you like movie reviews, especially B movie reviews, that's what we specialize in, and we love doing it.
If you want just half an hour to an hour of no stress nonsense.
Just two dudes unscripted talking about bad movies. Like what more is there to want?
Nothing extra.
It's cozy.
Okay.
It'll be nice to just sit by the fireside and listen to two dorks talk about their problems and how movies have made them.
Yeah, and best part is we're not going to try to sell you any supplements. That's even better.
You might even get some dog snores in the background.
That's fine.
Hasn't happened yet, but it might because my French bulldog's in the room with us this time. So
it's all right. That's why we got the fancy microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We've advanced.
Even if you do, it's kind of cute. So
that's
it's
like the fireplace in the background.
Exactly. Yeah, it's cozy.
There you go.
So anyway, thank you for listening. We appreciate you guys. So here we go. We watched Battle for the Lost Planet. Wait,
yeah.
That title doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does.
They battle, but where's the lost planet?
It's Earth.
But I know we lost Earth, but we know what it's not like a different planet.
It's lost to the aliens.
I know, because they just destroy it for no fucking reason.
Because they're aliens.
Because they're weird aardvark aliens.
With beards.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's just get this right out of the way. This movie is very, very, very childish. This is literally a sci-fi movie written by a 10-year-old that has very little understanding of sci-fi in general.
No, they have a lot of understanding. They just don't. They just don't know how to make it not boring.
Well, and I really wanted this movie.
Because this has all the cliches.
I wanted this movie to be so bad it was good, right? I wanted it to be so ridiculous. Because it is ridiculous, right? But not in the right way where it makes it entertaining. It's ridiculous in the way that it's so much stuff is happening on screen, but you don't give a shit about anything happening on screen.
It's extremely dull.
It's just boring. It's just like a plank of wood. It's like watching. So go out to in spring, go out and put some food down and just watch ants go over it, and that's about the same effect, right? Stuff is happening, but it's boring.
But is it exciting?
No. It's stuff is actually happening. Things are going. Life is happening, but it's boring. No one wants to watch that. You can go watch paint dry, but is it fun?
See, the thing is, I really hoped, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, into this, I was really hoping that it would at least be entertaining.
Yeah.
And it just...
Well, I wanted it to break through that threshold, right? Because it's
it couldn't do it.
It's stupid. It's dumb. It has all the makings of okay, this could be entertaining if it was really, if it was just went into more ridiculousness. But it's just it's just boring, and they linger too long on scenes. The characters are totally unlikable, and
they attempt comedy a lot.
Yeah, they attempt comedy, which falls flat every single time. Which I guess in a way is kind of entertaining.
Is it though? Bad comedies just...
Well, it just like
Man.
just trying over and over again just brings you some amusement that they are trying so hard to like create like banter and like
like the
comedic moments for these characters, and they literally every single time fall flat.
like the riveting door scene and the super exciting spaceship drone chase
Well,
where
like-
the two baddies start bonking each other.
Again, this is like a post-apocalyptic movie, and everyone just like kind of hangs out and vibes.
Yes.
There's no stakes, there's no tension, there's no ridiculous like action scenes. It's just all stupid and boring. Like, is it the worst movie I've ever
No.
seen? No, not even close. I'm just saying it's boring. That's like, again, that's like a big sin for us, is just be boring.
Yeah.
Which is okay. You can have the bad special effects. You can have the bad pew pews. You can have the stupid spaceship battles, like all that stuff, and you can still have it be dumb but entertaining. And this movie could not do that.
Yeah, it's just there's not enough amusement outside of those things.
Well, and like it's such a bare bones like plot too. Really, like,
Take a shot every time Will says that on the podcast.
yeah, I know. Don't you
It's
die?
not even accurate. This isn't even bare bones. This is like
Well,
at some point I just stopped like really paying attention because so much nonsense occurs, and like at some point I'm just like,
Well, I'm just saying the storyline, right? Like, I'm not okay. Lots of stuff is happening, right? But the storyline is so basic. It's a guy that steals a spaceship, goes and gets lost in space for 5 years because other aliens destroy
well, he
their
doesn't
planet.
get lost.
Well, okay, so our guy steals a
He
spaceship,
steals industrial. He's performing industrial okay,
espionage.
Yeah.
He's trying to
steal
there-
a tape of something.
like a tape of something. We don't know what it is yet. You know what it is at the end, obviously, but he steals a spaceship, busts out of the thing, and then like the spaceship gets like damaged. So
Breaking out of the garage.
yeah, so he can't like get back to Earth. It has to complete its mission.
It completed its orbit.
Yeah,
It's
so,
orbiting like a planet. So in 5 years' time, it'll come back to Earth.
But as he's going out of orbit, these other aliens come up for no reason. Just an army of these aliens just show up at Earth and just decide to destroy it.
Yes.
And then this guy has to spend 5 years on the spaceship going around orbit and getting back to Earth. And everything's fucked when he gets back, obviously, because it's post-apocalyptic. The aliens have destroyed everything. I know I'm going through it real quick. I'm gonna explain the plot and then we'll go over certain scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets to Earth. He finds a faction of people,
Who are not like fucked up.
but like everyone knows who he is because apparently it's legend that like the tape he was trying to steal holds the secret to saving Earth.
Yes.
So they go back to a spaceship. They find the ROM because the aliens are there. Fucking stuff ensues, and then they have to infiltrate the base because on the ROM it's like a plant. There's this industrial plant that is creating this technology that can wipe out, like exterminate a race of species.
Specific. It's targeted towards a specific like DNA.
So they have to infiltrate the base, get the thing, and then then get with the doctor so he can turn it on and kill all the aliens. That's basically it. So what I'm saying is like, yes, lots of stuff happens. I'm not saying that it's like bare bones in that sense, because there is a lot of stuff happening.
There's also a lot of random nonsense.
But the storyline, and you should have just stuck to the storyline in this movie, is very like follow through, right? It's there's a reason the guy has to come back to Earth. There's a reason he's so popular. Like, there's a reason he's came back to get the ROM to destroy the aliens. That's it.
Well, that's fine.
So
That's your typical.
I know you're like saying it's bare, like me saying it's bare bones.
Really think about what you're saying here, Will.
I know it's a common occurrence, so I'm just trying.
Really think about.
I'm just trying to explain my thought process.
Because if for me, I wish this was simpler, personally.
I guess what I was trying to say is the story is simple, but the plot, there's lots of boring.
We watched a movie like this.
There's lots of boring shit happening.
We watched a movie like this.
Yeah.
We watched a movie with almost an identical structure, I guess, that was simpler and better.
Yeah.
Because I wish this was simpler. Do you remember Aftermath?
Yes.
With the astronauts who are in space, and while they're in space, Earth gets like a nuclear apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
And then when one of them comes back, he has to survive in the wasteland.
Yeah.
That's it. This is basically that, except there's lots of just extra bullshit.
I mean, if you want to, like, a popular thing that is basically this same plot, Planet of the Apes.
Yes, but that's...
In a sense, but it's competently made, and it's like...
I wish this had any...
I know. I'm just saying, like, you know, astronaut goes into space, comes back, world's fucked. He has to figure out, like, how to save the human race.
Well, technically, you're spoiling, because if you watch Planet of the Apes not knowing, you don't know that...
I'm spoiling a movie that came out, like...
He doesn't know he's on Earth.
Like 30 plus years ago.
50.
Yeah.
But that's also the genius of Planet of the Apes, is they bamboozle you.
Well, yeah, that's the big twist at the end, right? Like, he has no idea.
Statue of Liberty. Among with all the other themes and scenes.
Because he just thinks he's on another planet. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. He doesn't know it's Earth.
And then they punch you in the ball sack.
Yeah. You finally actually did it. You bastards. God damn you.
Weird, that was me watching this movie. You finally really did it.
Well, it's stupid though.
You made it.
So here's the thing. This is where we get into why this is just a dumb fucking stupid movie, because they have to show him in space for 5 years. And
let's start with the first sin. You forget already. You're already forgetting this because this was the first sin.
What, Old Man on the Beach?
Yes. How the movie opens.
Okay.
How does a movie... How any movie... You know, the opening scene is important.
Well, yeah, right. It establishes the whole tone of the movie.
Well, every good filmmaker knows that, right?
Yeah.
So how do you start this movie?
Well, like, you're supposed to set the tone. You're supposed to, you know, establish a character or two, or...
What's the hook?
Or maybe an antagonist, right? Where it's like something bad happens, and so you get an idea of how the villain's going to be, or how the hero's going to be, or something. A catalyst happens.
It's supposed to hook you in, right?
Yeah.
So how does this movie start? It starts with an old man on a beach.
Well, and he looks at this really fucking ugly spaceship in the ocean,
and he starts narrating, and he sits down. And he says he's going to write a memoir about, and it's basically a memoir of how I saved the world.
Well, this is
getting to that fucking...
This is a perfect example of how I mentioned that this movie likes to linger.
Yes.
It like, the scenes go on for far too long in this movie.
Especially this, because he starts writing, and he keeps, like, starting over and over, and it's like, he's, like, making fun of it, but it's just like, you're just sitting there, not laughing, and you're just like, okay, get on with it.
Well, he even says, like, in a galaxy far, far, and it's like, no, haha, I'm not gonna do that. And if I run out of this pin, might be the last pin on Earth.
And it's just like, get on with it.
Well, and it goes on probably for like almost like a minute, maybe 2.
More than that. It's like 3 minutes, and then finally...
It's way too long, and then he finally gets started.
Once upon a time, at the turn of the century.
And we get the guy stealing the spaceship. It's really stupid. But then, okay, so...
He steals it, and of course, it's like, he steals the spaceship, he busts out of the hangar, and he's in space, and the fucking spaceship has a goddamn talking, like...
Well, he gets stuck in space, right? So the computer's like, hey, you have to, like, write out this 5-year thing because I have to orbit and all this shit.
And there's constant scenes of him arguing with the computer.
Well, and like I hate it because they spend so long with him on the
Well, it's like,
spaceship.
okay, so he's on the spaceship for 5 years, right? And we see him doing push-ups. We see him drawing. We see him trying to eat frozen TV dinners. We see him writing a list of, like, you know, actresses who were sexy in the 80s and like a check mark next to it. It's like,
Did he?
what is it saying?
Did he?
Okay.
Did he tribute each of those?
All right, I jerked off to this one. I
Yeah.
jerked off to this one. It's like, okay. And then him drawing like boobs.
Let me tell you, like, no shit. The only exciting thing that happens when he's stuck in space is
Please.
the Earth getting destroyed.
I was going to say the only exciting thing is when he
The
gets
continuity errors.
No. When he gets to Mercury and we see 5 seconds of a little miniature alien.
Well, yeah, because when this is happening, is it after he orbits that they destroy Earth, or is it? No, it's before.
Because
yeah.
that's the first thing he sees in space.
Yeah, because all this armada of fucking like pig aliens.
That talk in.
Now I hate it because they do facial makeup, right? So some of them have full face makeup, right? And then others, they conveniently cut out their beards because God forbid you make your actors shave for the
I would
makeup
say,
effects.
Will, like 80% of them have beards.
I don't get it because it's clearly just makeup cut away out of a beard, and it's clearly just
A human beard.
like a human beard, and why? And then some of them have gloves, and some of them they try to paint their hands, and then some of them they don't, and then some of them have
Biker helmets. Some
better
don't.
makeup than others, and it's just it's so haphazardly done. It's just like slapped together.
See, and all this would be fine if it wasn't so boring.
Again, this would make a ridiculous movie where we could laugh at it, but it's just boring and stupid and just.
Well, it's like, what was that movie? Mutilations. That was a cheap ass movie, but it was fun. It was entertaining. There was
We've seen other movies do this better.
There was a lot of. Also, that movie had a lot more flair.
We've also
this
seen.
lacks.
We've also seen other B movies do like other races of aliens better.
There's also just, I don't know. There's a real lack of flair here.
What I don't get is like if you're gonna do that, why have the makeup be so random for each actor?
I don't know.
And then it's like if you're gonna do that, do like like a Klingon thing where they just have like a weird forehead or something.
Yeah, that'd be easier.
It'd
why
be
not?
so much easier because then they could be kind of human, and it wouldn't matter if they had beards because they're just a little bit different than a human.
Humanoid.
Yeah.
Like, why not? But no.
Like, why do that? But no, they just have to slap together this like fucking army of ugly pigmen.
So they all have fucking human goatees.
Cool. So for no reason, Earth, a voiceover on Earth, tries to communicate with the aliens and say that they come in peace and everything, and then in response, these aliens just blow up Earth,
and he floats away. Our guy floats away.
and then we get all the boring scenes of him in space, and then he finally lands, and
He lands after he encounters like a patrol ship.
this is. This,
Do you want me to explain this to you?
I don't know why we need to explain that because nothing happens from it.
How dare you?
We don't ever mention this ever again.
How dare you? There are two dudes in space in like caveman garb. And, they see the spaceship coming and they're like, it's a human. And they say they basically say that it's a human who clearly made it to space before Earth got taken over by aliens.
Well, yeah, and one of them's like, we have to report this.
And so he's about to call the overlords. And at first I was confused. I was like, who the fuck is he reporting to? And then I realized, he's supposed to report to the aliens.
Well, because now I guess we're supposed to establish that they're enslaving
they're
the rest
enslaving
of humanity now.
And so the other guy's like, no, don't. And then they have a scuffle. And one of them gets knocked out. And he's just like, no, just follow orders.
He's like,
no.
We have to do it and they won't kill us. And the guy's like, well, I'm like, the slave revolution is near or something like that.
This is the best thing we have. and then he fucking pushes the
And he
self-destruct
just
button on the ship,
detonates the ship.
and the guy just continues on Earth, and he lands.
He lands and like immediately finds people.
They're like they look like mutants, and they're also wearing the caveman garb,
Well,
but
what's
they're
weird-
also conveniently wearing jeans.
Well, what's weird?
All
is
of them.
One of them is wearing a plaid shirt underneath the like torn up garbs.
Well, the jeans too. They're wearing like torn up pants, but they all have jeans underneath.
Well, this is what I don't get.
Clearly.
Again, every effect is like, except for a few, are so haphazardly slapped together.
Yeah.
That I don't understand what they were thinking.
Yeah, like why have them wear clear blue fucking jeans?
Here's an idea. Again, I'm just throwing them out there. Have them wear their normal clothes. Just cut them up a little bit.
Why not? It would look better. But no.
It would have looked more like post-apocalypse than whatever the fuck that was.
Instead, it's like someone wearing a Halloween costume that they clearly don't want to fucking wear.
Over their normal clothes.
So they're just like, fuck it, I'll just wear it over my normal clothes.
Yeah. So yeah, he encounters them and then gets saved by these people, and there's a narration saying that, you know, they took me into their barely standing wooden
house.
fortress, and
they go there, and this woman like introduces him to the old man.
well, and of course they don't trust each other, so like he's all like, who are you, whatever, and they're like, well, what's your name? And then he says it, and they're like, well, how do we know you're actually who you say you are?
Yeah.
Show us your spaceship. And he gets all upset that they were like, prove it.
Well, they're also like talking like, we all know you, like you're a legend, and you're like, okay.
And this is also where like kind of the misogynistic undertones start to seep in, where he's like, I never let a woman tell me what to do, and they just have a random like lines like that like scattered throughout the fucking whole movie. They I guess they really hated women for some reason.
I think you might be looking too deep into this.
I think
thing.
I might
Do
be.
you
My
really
brain is
think
broken.
Anyone
So
in making this thought anything?
probably not. But anyway, so it doesn't matter. They go to the ship. The aliens are on the ship.
Yes, they have a fight.
Now you would think that in any normal movie, what the aliens would either
Really?
be more menacing or looking for the plans that will magically make everything better.
I don't think they have any clue who he is.
They don't. They're like mindless pig people.
Yeah.
That's it. Apparently they according to the old man, they only know warfare and philosophies for some reason. Or
Well,
no, astronomy.
Yeah, astronomy.
Yeah. So they know star navigation and
fucking shit up.
And fucking shit up. That's it.
Yeah, they like experimenting on humans.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, they have a fight.
Which is weird because we don't see any
No.
human experiments whatsoever, but
That's too much money. They have a fight, and then they kill some of them, and a drone ship shows up,
God.
and it kills the old man. And then, yeah.
So then the girl and the guy get in the ship, they fly away, and we have a dog fight.
Well, you know what's weird? It's just funny, because like they go to presumably look at the ship because they want to see the tape. So, but they have like their whole colony back home. And then they get in the ship, they listen to the tape. The tape tells them about the weapon that can kill everything with
It's
a certain
in-
DNA structure.
It's in like a certain state, and the ship can fly them to this.
And they go there, and they just, she just yeets away from her colony or whatever without saying a word.
She does. Yeah, I know.
Like,
she just
okay.
literally gets in the ship and was just like, okay, let's go.
And they fly, and they get into a dogfight with two ships who start bonking each other.
Well, because they know warfare, and they want to be the ones to kill.
Like one of the pig aliens like flips off the other one, and they bonk each other, and then,
one of them runs into a water tower, and then
the other one shoots down the fucking ship, but they survive.
So they're in the woods now.
They're in the woods,
And again, that dogfight lingers on for far too long. It lasts like probably a few minutes past what it should have been.
And I assure you, it is not exciting
at all.
But they're in the woods.
Oh my god! And they decide to fuck.
Of course. I mean, I saw it coming.
Because they're like, okay. So I love the woman. I did kind of chuckle at this. The woman like throws herself at him, and he's like, "What do you want?"
Yeah, like
it's like
bro, you've been
gone for 5 years, not like 500.
You've been moaning about not having any hoo-ha when you were in the spaceship.
Well, which is funny.
You said like no tookus.
Yeah. Which is funny because of how he acts in the future too. He like literally, I don't know, like is he like repulsed by this woman because they do have sex, but while they're having sex, a xenomorph spider comes by,
and it like wraps a tentacle around.
This is probably the longest lingering scene in the entire movie.
This is balls.
I fucking hate this scene.
The scene is a wrinkled ball
I was
sack.
so bored.
It wraps around her, right? And she just lays there. She just lays completely flat as this thing.
She doesn't even roll around. She like kicks her legs a little bit.
This thing just sits there, okay? Just sits there. The guy starts like fighting it with a fucking torch, and the alien knocks him the fuck out. And then
the wood people.
Well, no. Eventually, they just watch. We see them watching.
Yeah.
Then she like somehow grabs the torch after like 2 fucking minutes of just laying there.
Well, and again, she's just like mildly kicking her feet behind her, and meanwhile, this is a giant fucking like spider thing, and it's literally not doing shit. It's just screaming.
It doesn't hurt anybody, and
it doesn't even try and bite anyone.
No, you think it would eat somebody or something? No, fuck that. Too exciting.
It just knocked the guy out. That's it.
And she grabs the torch and like burns the tentacle, and it like walks away a little. They both get up and hide in a tree, and then the woods people go out and they just kind of poke at it, and then it falls into a trap.
And dies.
One of them stabs it and it dies. And not a single person got hurt, got killed. There's no blood.
No one was in danger at all.
There's nothing.
This monster did fucking nothing. But they
fucking
also
nothing.
Of course, during this entire like action sequence, they put it in context that the pig people brought in other species from
that's why they're like, planets. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So the forest people rescue them. It's the next day.
He smokes weed by the guy.
And he tells them, you're 30 miles away
from your destination.
But be careful, because if you go in that direction...
Mad Dog's territory.
You'll run into Mad Dog Kelly. And then they leave on horses, and literally 2 seconds... Oh, no, I'm sorry. After 2 minutes of our guy struggling on his horse...
Yeah.
Mad Dog Kelly's gang shows up.
And they circle him with motorcycles. They literally don't pose a threat at all.
One of them gets knocked the fuck out.
Well, and then the other...
There's another one that gets killed by a throwing knife.
Well,
you remember this?
Yeah, she throws gently throws a throwing knife, and he dies.
And they're surrounded. And then you just hear you hear noise, and then they're like, Mad Dog, Mad Dog.
And the get knocked out guy even wakes up and he's like, Mad Dog. I think it was supposed to be a joke, but
I think there's a lot of things that are supposed to be jokes.
It's just stupid.
The whole movie's a joke.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mad Dog shows up, and he looks like somebody wanted desperately to look like Sylvester Stallone, circa 1979.
Like Cobra. Think of Stallone and Cobra.
See, he was clean shaven in Cobra. That's why I said.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
1980 something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, no, he kind of acts like Stallone does in Cobra. Yeah. I guess
he's also
that's the kind of attitude.
He's also wearing leather and everything,
and he has big aviator sunglasses.
But it's just funny because he shows up, and you're thinking okay.
Well, he's gonna be this Mad Dog Kelly. He's a fucking force to be reckoned with.
Fucking psycho, and he's fine. He's totally fine. He just kind of talks. He's kind of banters, talks. He even knocks out one of his own henchmen.
Well, I was thinking it was gonna be sort of like a Mad Max villain.
Yeah, and instead he's just whatever. And he's like, I like you.
But even 2 seconds in, he's like, I like you. Come back to my place, and you can have all the women you want.
He likes his insults, so he takes him back to his castle. And
now, this is again why I think this guy is like repulsed by the main girl. Because
please, Will.
they immediately get to the castle, and instead of for like protecting her, he immediately goes for all the girls, and he's like, I haven't had like stuff for 5 years. And it's like, what? You guys literally had sex in the forest
less than 24 hours ago.
Less than 24 hours ago. What are you saying? He's like, I haven't seen this for years.
Ridiculous.
It's like, what? Continuity is a thing.
Apparently not. And they take her away to
dress more slutty.
They do. Okay. I was like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Because Mad Dog Kelly doesn't like a woman that does anything, and he doesn't like smart women.
Yes.
And he only likes women that he can use and that dress skanky.
Yes. That's it. What have you ever seen such a horrifying villain in a movie?
And again, our main guy is supposed to be like protecting this woman, right? And he does nothing.
Eventually he does.
Eventually,
after all this, because they're one of them. They're basically gonna say like they're gonna like, take advantage of her, and one of the guys even yells like, "I need women!
I need women!"
And then he's like, "Wait, no, stop it!" And they go like, "Okay, what the hell? What's going on?" He's like, "I will." Basically says like, I'll fight you to the death.
I think the guy that said I need women, he reminds me of. Have you seen Trailer Park Boys? He reminds me of Bubbles. I need women. Because he has those big bottleneck, like fucking glasses that like magnify his eyes.
He just looks not intimidating at all. But he's like, I'll fight you to the death.
Yeah,
and
so they get coat hangers with nails in it and fucking like sides on the top of it.
And they fight, and our guy gets the upper hand on fucking Mad Dog and is like, yield, and then he yields, and then they're friends.
When he's like, Mad Dog Kelly's even like, I wish I knew what yielding was.
And they're friends.
What's weird
they
is
literally
like,
go GG.
Oh yeah, well one guy's like, oh, that was a good fight,
and he gets punched by Mad Dog, and then Mad Dog's like, yeah, I'll, because he knows, because earlier he finds out that Mad Dog apparently used to work at this facility where this bio super weapon is.
Yeah.
And so, after they like fight, they're all friendly, and he's like, I'll take you there, and like he'll give them weapons and everything. And I'm like, this is our fucking terrifying villain. Okay, now we're just friends, whatever. And so they go there, and it's like the aliens built a facility on top of this thing, and Mad Dog like jokes that they have no idea what's even in there.
Yeah,
they have no idea. So they go in there and immediately get caught.
Well, okay, so I'll have to remember the stupid fucking
the sex.
Well, the sex and the hot shots joke, where the guy's like, okay, give me 5 minutes. Well, I don't have a watch.
Here, take mine.
Here, take mine.
But now you don't have a watch. Here, take mine. They do the fucking.
It's like the laziest fucking like stupid. Like I don't know why they add like slapstick jokes in here.
I have no idea.
But anyway, so yeah, they immediately get caught.
While Mad Dog's having sex and counting down
to 3,000,
and they get caught, and then Mad Dog, I guess, counts down and comes through the door, and they beat up the fucking useless villains.
So they eventually find their way through like another door where they think like the sign where they think the thing is, and they close the door behind them,
and they just stand there.
Well, and the bad guys can't get through, right? Without like a bigger weapon.
Well, they fire their normal pew-pews at it. Does nothing.
But again, our main guys literally just stand behind the door and just stand there.
Yes.
They do not move. They do not look for anything, even though the doctor was like literally feet away. They don't do fucking anything and wait for the bad guys to get a bigger gun to like start like trying to get through the door.
And they start firing this bigger gun through the door after like 4 minutes of nonsense slapstick. And then the room starts getting hot, and then they move. Because they're like, it's getting hot, we should get moving.
They only move when they're uncomfortable? Are you kidding me?
Yes. And then they fucking run into the
What was his
doctor,
fucking name? I can't remember his name.
Dr. Finkelstein, some long
Yeah.
bullshit name that some dork came up with.
And I hate the narration here because the doctor takes them to his like lab, right? And he's like, I cannot believe this.
You know what it was?
This fruitcake doctor brought us to this room, an empty room.
And then the fucking, floor opens and it's like a thing.
And I'm like, you are narrating your own fucking story, and you knew the floor opened, and you still said that shit.
It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny.
Are we supposed to be like, what? It's an empty room. How are they gonna get out of this one? And then like,
Yes.
oh my god, the
Oh
the
my
bottom
God.
opened.
3 seconds later.
Whoa. Are we supposed to like mind melt at that?
Yes, 3 seconds later.
Jesus Christ!
It's so stupid. And
So the bad guys get through the door.
oh no, don't forget. Yeah, they get through the door, and then the guy's like, "Well, I don't know how to do this because I don't have their molecular
Well, and Mad
structure."
Dog Kelly's like, well, you don't need that. Work backward. Like they have like a scientific
Yes.
meeting of the minds. This is Mad Dog Kelly is the one that saves the day because he's like, well, just reverse engineer it. Like put all the like living organisms for Earth in, and then only make it eliminate the ones that aren't human.
The guy's like, "You know what? That's
That
brilliant."
might work.
And spoiler alert, it does.
Yeah, because they start fighting the fucking... It's really boring, so there's no point in going into the fight, because they start fighting the fucking pigmen,
Yes.
and they're just blasting away. The two main characters get trapped in like a little tiny room, and right as they're about to
And
get...
they start making out, remember?
Yeah.
To distract
It
them.
looked like they were going to like have sex.
I literally thought they were going to start fucking and the
Now,
alien's just going to stand
that
there.
would have turned the whole movie around.
Oh, that would have made it 10
if they
out of 10,
would
right,
have
yeah.
just started fucking in front of the pig.
As the pigmen are just like, "Rah, rah, rah,
Just...
rah. What the fuck is this?" And
You want women!
they distract them just enough for the dude to turn on the super weapon.
And it like this is the only good effect. Well, that and there was a dummy drop that was pretty good.
The dummy drop was hilarious.
When Mad Dog Kelly shoots one of the guards off the tower, and it like is
the
this
dummy falls off
this
a
like
miniature?
stiff miniature stiff dummy that falls off the miniature. Oh god, it's so good. But
They melt.
so all their faces melt into like skulls, and then finally at the end they get out of the thing and
they blow up the
blow
tower.
up the tower, and the guy's trying to make a rousing speech as all his friends are walking away because no one gives a fuck, just like I didn't.
And he turns around and then the ends on a freeze frame gotcha.
Yeah,
And then the narrator says something stupid.
I can't even
Because it was
fucking
so
care
stupid, I
what the
didn't care.
narrator
It was like,
said.
"And that's it. You still there?
Ugh.
Kids?" And film.
Thank Christ that this was over. I mean, I thank God it was only an hour and 40 minutes because I don't know how much more I could have taken.
Yeah, this was
Like, again, it's not like the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. It was just,
Not
it's
even
just
close.
so boring. There, every once in a while you'll see those movies, and I'm sure like major audiences get this all the time too, where there's just lots of shit happening on the screen, right? There's just a ton of fucking shit, but they don't make it like exciting or like memorable at all, and you don't really care about the characters and everything. Like the last time it happened to me in like a big theater was probably the last Jurassic Park,
oh god.
the fucking Jurassic
I mean, that's
World.
literally just
Cause like just like all this
consume.
Gee, just fucking are like a dump truck of shit is just happening on the fucking screen, right?
And you're just like,
And you don't give a shit about any of it. Like it's those kind of movies where everything exciting is happening or supposed to be.
In
like,
theory, yes.
it's supposed to be like exciting, right? And you're like falling asleep
yeah, you're literally
because you
like,
literally could care less. You couldn't care less about anything happening on screen.
yeah. Cause I don't know, it's just it would really help if there was any amount of flair to this.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it wasn't ridiculous enough to be like memorable or entertaining, but it also wasn't like boring enough to be like a total snooze fest.
Yeah, like it's not offensively bad. It's not a fucking Don Door movie,
No.
but man, bruh, it's a bruh moment.
It is a bro moment. It's just like a wet fart of a movie. It's just there's nothing there.
Just give this movie to the guy who made Mutilations. It would have been at least there would have been some fucking flair
Yeah, I
behind
know.
the camera instead of just fucking.
I mean,
boring.
that's the biggest thing for this movie. It's just boring. Like there's nothing. That's all I can say about it. Just there's like nothing to latch onto here.
Nope.
The characters are completely unlikable. They're stupid. Their lines are delivered like sure, the line delivery is fine, but
It's
like
fine.
it's like it's just you don't care about anyone or anything happening.
There's no care at all. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing. You're not invested in this. Like,
No.
you're not watching this being like, oh, I really care about what's happening.
You're not like you never get immersed. There was not even a second of this movie that I was even immersed in.
No, there's not a single point when I was like, you know what? I really care about this.
Yeah, you never tap into the brain of this director.
Yeah, no, you're just like, okay.
You're just like, can this just be over?
You're like, oh,
It's one of those movies where it's like probably like 10 to 15 minutes in, you probably would have turned it off.
I think as soon as he gets to space
Yeah.
and starts pretending to eat frozen TV dinners, you would peace out.
Yeah, I'd be like, you know what? I can spend my time better than this.
Yeah, I can find something else to watch. I'm good. I don't need this.
Or you can just go listen to the podcast and we watch it for you, and then
And
you just
we suffer through an hour. 40
we
minutes.
suffered through it, so you don't have to. That's the whole thing. That's the
because
whole
we're
point.
so nice.
We are very giving.
We're providing a charitable
We're
service.
we're probably the most selfless podcast ever. Okay,
We really are. We don't do this with any expectations, okay?
nothing.
We just did this for no goddamn
We
reason.
do this for your joy, and that's what's most important.
We watched Battle for the Lost Planet for the community.
Yes.
We did it.
So
We did it for the fans.
shitty to pretty. I probably won't be surprising. It's gonna be low. Surprise, shocker. I know.
Yeah, it's about an 8. No.
7. No, I can't give it a 1 or
No.
I think it. I honestly think it's like a 3.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.
Like I think 3 is a good place to put it because it's not 1 or 2 status. Though those are reserved for. 1 is reserved for
Some special
like
garbage.
some really stupid shit. And then 2 just has to be a little bit more offensive than this was because this was just like bleh.
Yeah, there wasn't any point in this where I was like screaming.
Yeah. Like
If I'm screaming, it's a 1 or a 2.
Yeah.
If I'm at the point where I'm just screaming, like that's approaching 1 territory of just like where a movie is. It's not just annoying me. It's sparking like rage that I'm
this-
fucking watching it.
but a 3 is when Alex keeps looking over to me and my face is just so fucking void
every time
of
they
emotion.
every time they were making a joke or doing like a comedy skit, I would just look over at Will with this look of like, why are we doing this?
Well, and like you could just tell like our eyes were glassed over. We just were like had this like expressionless.
We have this expression of negative joy of like, why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? We could turn this off at any point.
Yeah, like oh, he's arguing with the computer again. Okay, my smile turns more up, more down. Oh, there's
That was honestly funnier than the entire movie.
there's no humor in this. I mean, I think I kind of laughed at the Naked Gun wannabe bit with the watch just because I was just like, I cannot fucking believe they
I don't
just
think
did
I
that.
laughed, but I think I did that thing where like air escapes your nose.
Yeah, I was just like, I cannot believe they're doing this.
Like I didn't get a chuckle, but I got a,
Like I'm almost shocked that they didn't run into an alien who was speaking like perfect fucking English. That like as like a comedy bit.
I know.
Excuse me, gentlemen, like something like that. I was just like, what the fuck? I'm shocked.
I wish anything like that would have happened. Because then it would have been a little bit more
It would
entertaining.
have woken me up out of my fucking coma.
I wish any of the jokes would have landed because, again, I
Imagine.
just wanted something and I got nothing.
Nothing.
So thank you, Battle for the Lost Planet, and thank you, Retro Classic Movies, where we watched on YouTube. Thanks
And,
for uploading it
yeah,
and your
and-
418 views. We just added one more.
In remastered quality, thank you.
Yeah, so it looked good. Thank you for that.
Looks as good as it's gonna look, I
Because
guess.
I wasn't gonna pay for this shit.
Well, see, if there was no way for me to get a hold of this movie, and the only way to get it was to rent it, I would have made you rent this. But luckily, we didn't have to.
Thank God.
So you saved $3.
I haven't had to rent a movie in quite a while, so like my
Keep it up, boys.
my bank account thanks you.
Oh yeah, listen, keep it up because
Not that rentals are expensive, but I hate paying even like $1 for like shit movies.
that's a gamble. It's a true gamble because when you're renting it and you have no clue what you're getting, it's just like, oh boy.
Because that's happened before.
Because then it's like, if it's good, cool, awesome. I'm glad they have my money. But if it's bad, you're just like sitting there thinking, I spent money on this.
Yeah. I went to work and worked in a period of time.
I gave my sweat
I gave a little bit of my sweat to earn this.
to pay for this. I chose
To earn the money to pay for this.
as a wage slave. I gave my fucking money to this.
This is where my hard labor went.
But thankfully,
But thankfully, we didn't have to do that. So thank you for all the YouTubers that keep uploading these stupid fucking movies.
and for the people who decided to put them on, Tubi and whatever.
Yeah, so
Praise be.
those are the real heroes.
You're the real MVPs.
And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say.
Yes, I'm done.
So for They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we will talk to you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
That feel when no took us.
We just had sex less than 24 hours ago. I haven't had this in 5 years.